Hi everyone, Player Sam. Welcome to part 3 of our KitBox 124 BMW M3 video build. Today we're going to pick up where we left off in part 2. It's final assembly basically. Literally we're picking up where we left off last time. Everything was painted and red, well, primed, painted, detailed, decaled in the last video. So all we're left to do today is final assembly. So quite a quick video. And what a wonderful kit this is. I can't rate it enough. I must say for this video about 10 times how good this kit is. It's brilliant. And as I say in a bit, I've got another one to build. I've got an Imola red one to do soon. I don't think it'll be a video build because it'll be exactly the same as this, but red. So, but keep an eye on my social media. I'll share pictures of it as I go. But there we go. Let's jump in exactly where we left off in part 2 and get this build across the finish line. Okay, so we're on the home straight of this fantastic kit. We're picking up where we left off last time. We had all our interior, all painted, detailed, decaled, and I'm just doing a little bit of test fitting. A little bit tricky sometimes, these interiors. Don't go by the instructions, if you can call them instructions, although on the KitBox kit, they are actually quite good. Test fit everything and figure out the assembly of the way everything goes. So, I'm just gluing our steering column in place with our steering wheel. And there's our dashboard, and it's looking good. A mixture of the supply kit decals and some detail painting has made this dashboard look really nice. Great interior decals on this. Like I say, on the interior, make sure you test fit everything. The rear bench seat is glued in place. I'm just test fitting the door card to see how they fit. It did take a bit of fiddling to get the dashboard in on this, and I found the best way to do it was to get both door cards in, don't glue them in place. Test fit to make sure they fit like that, like they do. And then grab the dashboard, push it as far as it will go gently, and then ease the door cards down at like 30 degrees. And then you can push the dashboard up and take the door cards up with it as well. That was the easiest way I could find that it worked. Once you got it in place, you can apply some glue in strategic areas and glue it all in place. On the actual interior, obviously this was flocked with ProScale flocking. In the last video, my girlfriend Hannah does this for me, saving a mess in the cave. She does a great job. And we're glued in our center console and our seats in place as well with some generic CA glue. So a little bit of careful gluing in places that can't be seen. Make sure you get everything the right way. I very nearly glued that in the wrong way around then. Not a clever option to do. Like I say, just make sure everything's the right way. Make sure you get the seats the correct way around. And there we go. Now, sadly, I did miss me installing the chassis and the lower half of the interior. So apologies, the camera went off. It's just a case of pushing it in place. We pre-drilled these in the last video and then just screwing the screws in. If there's any resistance on the screws, take them back out and re-drill them to a larger size. Now, the pre-chromed black chrome headlights that come with the kit, they do come with some PE to add these detail. I found, honestly, using my paint marker pen, a million times easier to add the same detail. So I just went around it. It's a true paint marker, so metallic paint, and they do work absolutely fantastic. I love these pens. They are very, very useful, and it adds great detail. And granted, a really great part of this kit is these pre-coloured light lenses. So we've got the rear lights, the grille is chromed, the rear lights are chromed. The front headlights are like a black chrome as well. And it's a really nice touch. I hope other manufacturers of these type of kits will pick up on as well. Also calls for a decal along the front. And again, rather than faffing about with a decal, I thought I'd use the pen. You need to let these dry. You need at least 24-48 hours to dry if you're going to handle them. Otherwise it will rub off. So if you're going to handle them, make sure you hold them in a strategic place where you're not going to touch anywhere. But as long as you're careful, you can pop it in place. And if you do manage to accidentally touch it, you can always touch it up once it's in the area you want it. Very careful application of glue. We can pop the headlights in. Test fit before you commit to glue, obviously, and figure out the way they need to be assembled. As you can see, there we go, that's in place. I'm just going to push that back in with the end of our brush. And then a blurry shot, I do apologise, of some Bob Smith's gold in a couple of strategic spots on the edge of the light. And we're going to get our clear resin light lenses in, like so. You get a bit of working time with the Bob Smith's Gold, so it's ideal for things like this. The rear light's been painted up with Tamiya X27, all red, and we've got my black Sharpie now, and we're going to go around and just colour all the very edge to add that rubber effect that you get on a light cluster. Just adds a little bit of detail to the build, a little bit of depth, and just breaks up the bland redness that would normally be there too. Nice simple step. And again, some strategic placing of super glue. We've got the rear light lenses in place. We'll drop that and pick it back up. If you remember in part 2, we had to reshape these rear lights with our heat gun. They were a little bit misshapen, but we did test fit everything, and with a little bit of glue and a little bit of a hold for a second or two. Make sure it's all glued in the right position, like so. And there we go. And then we've got some UMP airbrush cleaner on a cotton brush just to wipe over the outside, and this will get rid of any overspray from when we sprayed them X27 red earlier on. So just makes them nice and clean, makes them shine like the real lights would. Brakes, we assembled these last time, and here we are, we're just test fitting. The beautiful part about this KitBox kit is all the hubs are marked where they fit, so they're marked front right, front left, and rear because the rears are the same. And that way you don't get any mistake, because a problem of mine with some other kits like this is you mix the hubs up and you've got to sit there and faff around and figure out which one fits where. This one, there's no mucking around at all. A little dab of CA glue in the back of each one, glue it in place. Refer to instructions, make sure you get those brake discs and calipers orientated the correct way. More the calipers, because the discs only go one way. I did find I needed to just undo the chassis just a little bit, pop some glue in, plop the part in, and then screw the chassis back down. And then we'll have a quick test fit of the wheels. Looking absolutely fabulous in the gunmetal colour from Pro Scale. And the same on the front. Just need to loosen the chassis plate just a touch, put a couple of dabs of glue in, pop the hub in, and then close it up. As you can see, I'm quite liberal with the glue. It's all hidden behind the disc, so don't worry about it too much. Just make sure you get everything orientated the correct way. Refer to instructions, pictures of the real car. And this way you need to start being careful with your CA glue now. Don't get it on your fingers and get it all over your paintwork. But as we found out a while back, a nice tip is get some super glue debonder, keep it to hand. And if you get your super glue on your 2K, you can put it on a cotton bud and wipe off the super glue. It does rub off with very little damage. You might just need to give it a quick polish back up, but it does work very well. The exhaust, glued in place, a couple of dabs of glue, glues that in place. As to are these little light reflectors that sit in the back. Tricky little beggars to glue in place these were. So a couple of dabs of Bob Smith. And just pushed in place. So we got them where we wanted them. And then again, some Tamiya X27, which is my go-to clear red colour at the minute. Out of all the ones I've tried, this one seems to work the best. And we're going to brush paint it. By all means, you could airbrush this. But trying to airbrush small little parts like this is often quite tricky. So for me, get it glued in place, apply a liberal amount of it so you get a nice glossy finish, and just leave it be for half an hour or so to dry, and it'll look fantastic. Nice and easy. Good quality brush like the Winsor Newton Series 7s, makes painting these a breeze. And there we go. Perfect. BMW logos now, these are the metal decal transfers. They're a bit of a strange decal, these ones, because they're like a metal backed, but they still are water transfers. So get it in water, 10-15 seconds, get it in place, hit it with your cotton bud to remove any moisture. So we've got one front and rear. Make sure you get the propeller logo the correct way around with the BMW logo at the top, or BMW lettering at the top, and get it in the position indentation on the bonnet line as well. There we go. And again, hit it with the cotton bud to get any moisture out from behind it. And then our M3 logo, same type of decal. It's referring to real instructions, pictures on the instructions, which is very, very helpful. Really nice touch. We can get this positioned the right way, get it orientated the correct way, and then get any moisture out from behind with a nice new cotton bud. There we go, and then there's a nice M3 badge on the front grille as well. The Kit Supply chrome grille is fabulous, really high quality chrome, absolutely beautiful. Door handles, these were fiddly, I'm not going to lie. There could be a little bit fiddly door handles. Make sure you get the right ones in the right place. Refer to pictures, your instructions, and try and get them all in the right place. And always use either a PVA based glue or Bob Smith, something that's safe for not fogging or hazing. Little trick on the BMW license plate, as I always do: prime it black, get a UMP sander on it. It takes all the paint off the raised area, so you have a nice black number plate with nice silver lettering. It's my kind of trademark number plate on these cars. I think nearly every single one I've made has it on it. Just something I like to do. And then some double-sided tape will make short work of getting this in place on the car. You could, of course, use CA glue, but I often find it a little bit too messy. When the double-sided tape makes life really easy and simple. And that way you can position it. If you're not happy, you can take it back off. Like so. Get the number plate in place. I really do love these plates, and they look really good on the cars. Then get a cotton bud and just push it down. There we go. Let's make sure the tape gets its hold. One on the front of this one as well. Don't often put them on the front, but I thought on this one I would. It fits in nicely below the grille. So yeah, that one's in place as well. And then the glass. Always a finicky part on these kits. It takes a great time of care. Always test fit the glass. Take it off the way I've done it. So I've got some double-sided tape on the front. We've pulled it off the backing sheet and test fitted it. We're having the double-sided tape on the front. We don't need to touch it anywhere at all. We can just hold it. And that way you don't get any fingerprints on the inside. Make sure you got this around the right way. There's a protective film on top. So make sure you double check and then pop it in place. And then get a cotton bud and press down. Just run it all around. There is a protective sheet on the top of this, so you're not going to scratch the acetate underneath. But our job is to hold one side while burnishing down with the cotton bud and letting the Bob Smiths take hold of the plastic. Again, you do get a bit of working time with the Bob Smiths. So just work around until it's grabbed it and then spin it around the other way and burnish this side down until it's in place as well. So I didn't quite have enough this side, so I need to just carefully lift it up with one of my nozzles. Just put a little bit in there. You don't need a lot of glue at all. It takes very, very little. You better to have too little than too much, because it will squeeze out the edge and just ruin all your hard work. So be very careful. If you're not confident, take your time. You can also use double-sided tape, which I've done in previous videos as well. It does work, but it can lift up over time. So CA glue is just the more permanent way of doing it. You just need to be confident in what you're doing. And leave the protective film on until you've done all 4 windows. Well, actually, it's 6 on this, 8 on this one. Hang on, 2, 4, 6 on this one. We've got a rear, front, and 2 sides on each side. So 2, 4, 6. Like I say, work the cotton bud all the way around, making sure it's all fully glued down. And then you can move on to the others in exactly the same principle. Test fit, get your CA glue around the edge. Cocktail stick is the ideal tool for spreading the CA glue. I like to use a fresh cotton bud for each one. These pointer ones are really helpful for this. In this case, just gently burnishing it all down until the CA glue grabs a hold. It's one of the trickiest parts of the kit, and it's definitely a part I don't particularly look forward to. But having done 7 or 8 of these now, I'm really getting the hang of it. Same on the side, use a cocktail stick just to strategically place small amounts of glue. Test fit every window before you commit to putting it in place. And using a double-sided tape, the Tamiya masking tape like I have here, means you don't need to touch the glass at all. So get it in place, get it all lined up, get it in, get your cotton bud, burnish all the edges down, and just repeat all the way around until it's done. Once you've done a few, it's quite simple. It's not that daunting, but it is probably the worst part of these kits. Leading on to the most satisfying part, which is peeling off the acetate protective film. And all going well, it'd be nice and clean underneath with no fingerprints, no dirt, no glue. I like to use the edge of the scalpel just to lift the corner and then grab it with the tweezers. But it's a very, very satisfying part, this. It really is. Window wipers, I didn't get them on film. I've made them dozens of times now. I've got them on camera at least half a dozen times. They need folding. They're not that bad to make at all. They're really simple. They're a pain in the backside to glue on the car. They take multiple attempts, but just use a bit of CA glue and just patience and a swear jar. Mirrors glued in place. They fit on nice and easy. Bob Smith's doing the job as usual again. And when you're done with your CA glue, put it out of the way. Get it well out of the way, because the amount of times I've brushed past something with the CA glue nozzle and got it all over. And make sure you keep your fingers clean now. There we go, she's looking good. There's our little shark fin antenna on the roof. A couple of dabs of glue in there. And that's glued in place as well. We've got a final polish up. We've got the Ultimate Polish System spray wax. This is my preferred choice of wax for the cars. I just find it a lot easier to use the spray, so I spray a little bit on a nice clean bit of t-shirt is my preferred polishing, and very, very gently, and be very careful here. This is where you can snag window wipers. I do it all the time, and rip off your hard work, badges, wing mirrors, anything like that. Just really take your time here. You're not polishing anything, this is just a wax. All that has to be done is wiped over, let it dry, buff it off, job done. It needs no real pressure at all. It's a nice simple job to do, so just take your time, working your way around, get everywhere covered, let it haze up, and then you can buffer off to a nice high shine. Bodywork's looking fabulous. Like I said in part 2, we did get some water under the decal on the roof. I rushed that carbon decal on the roof. When we 2K'd it, the water's under the clear coat and under the decal, and it's left like a hazy effect on the roof. You can see it when we look close. It's not the end of the world. It's a bit of a pain. It's a little bit of a shame, but it is what it is. There is no repairing it. I'd have to strip the entire car, which I don't want to do. But we'll polish it all up, and this thing looks absolutely fantastic. It really does look good. You can use this spray wax on the windows as well, should you wish, although I would recommend keeping it off it as much as possible. The less you mess around with these windows on any plastic kit and the acetate on these, the better. But if you need to, just give it a quick run over, let it haze up, and then buff it off with the same cloth, just a dry corner or a separate one to get it all nice and shiny. And this spray wax works absolutely wonderful. There is a actual paste wax, I suppose you call it, in with the Ultimate Modeling Polish System, but I prefer this one. I've always used this one. I just find it easier to use, and I like the results from the detail and spray. If you're polishing the windscreen, watch those window wipers. Trust me, I've snagged so many of them and ripped them off. Spent hours getting them in place to rip them off with the cloth. So just take your time, working your way around. Like I say, there's no pressure needed. You're not polishing anything. You're just putting a coating over it, let it haze up, and then buffing it off to a nice high shine. So yeah, we're coming to the end of this now. It's been a fantastic kit to build. Really enjoyed this one. It's a great looking car and a great colour. And I'm looking forward to the next one. The next one is the Alpha Models G80, which this is a little bit ahead now, where I'm doing this voiceover, and I've actually just finished the G80 one in the Snapper Rocks Blue. It's over on my Patreon. It's an early release. It'll be on ISM in a few weeks. But there we go. There's our Daytona Violet F80 BMW M3 all done. Looks absolutely fantastic. This kit is phenomenal. I can't recommend this kit enough. It's an absolutely stunning kit to build. And I have another one coming up. I have an Imola Red one coming up very soon. Whether it'll be a video build, I don't know, because it's going to be exactly the same as this, but red. So I don't think it warrants a build. But the Pro Scale products working absolutely fantastic. The Daytona Violet Purple looks great. The 2K is phenomenal. Polishes up absolutely beautiful. The metallic gunmetal on the wheels looking absolutely stunning as well. And the Napa Black on the leather interior inside looks great as well. And there we go. This year she's all done. I've got her on the turntable. I've got a very quick video in here. And I've got some pictures in a second to look at. So it looks really good. Like I say, this is a phenomenal kit from KitBox. I can't recommend it enough. Everything in the box to get it to this kind of build. Lovely instructions, lovely decals, all the decals for the interior, much clearer, conciser instructions compared to other kits like this. Great fitting part, high quality resin. With this one, there's two choices of wheel. I think I chose the right one for this. You got the pre-chrome front grille and rear lights, the black chrome headlights. It's just a great kit, really, really good. The only part I need trouble with was the rear lights. I just needed a bit of a reshape with a little bit of heat, but even that isn't the end of the world. It's just one of those things that needs doing from time to time with resin. Like I said, the only real flaw is the roof, where I rushed the decal and didn't get all the water out from under it. But other than that, it looks great. I've got some pictures of it now. So this was primed in Pro Scale Light Grey Primer. We then used Pro Scale Daytona Violet Purple. We gave her a black Tamiya panel line wash. We get some carbon on the roof with some Tamiya carbon decal. It's clear coated in the Pro Scale 2K Clear, which has gone down absolutely fantastic. The interior is Pro Scale Napa Black with some accents and the kit decals, which are wonderful. The kit wheels were painted in Pro Scale metallic gunmetal, which is a stunning colour. Really, really nice. We flatted it back with 3M Trizic pads and polished it up with the UMP Ultimate Modeling Products polish system, which works absolutely fantastic. Beautiful colour, beautiful 2K clear, and absolutely fantastic kit. I've said this repeatedly, I can't recommend this kit enough. It's a beautiful kit and a very nice looking M3 BMW. Probably one of the last of the really great looking ones. The G80 is nice, the one I've just finished. It's not as pretty as this one though. And like I say, if you're looking for a kit with an M3, I would highly recommend this. It builds up absolutely beautiful. Contact the guys on their Facebook page. I'll put a link in the description down below. Or just search on Facebook for KitBox/PZY and you'll find them. Send a message to the admin and they will sort you out for one of the kits. They'll give you a price and let you know. But great kit, really enjoyable build. And I hope to see many kits from these guys in the future. I know they've got a 911 GT3 RS, I think it is, due out. And I'm looking forward to see that. So there we go. What can we say? Nothing that I haven't already said. Great kit. Absolutely fantastic. Went together with no problem at all. The only problem we had with those rear lights, they were a little bit misshapen. Quick heat up with the heat gun. A little bit of a bend. And they fitted perfect. It's the only issue on the kit. Other than my own silly mistake with the carbon on the roof. It's gone fantastic. Flawless build, flawless resin, goes together without a hitch. The dashboard's a tricky fit. Do that trick that I said. Put the door cards in, line the dashboard in, ready to go. Lift the door cards up a touch, slot the dashboard in, push it all down together, and it should go in all in one go. But great kit, top quality kit. I've got the Mercedes 190 there to do as well. It's a bit of an older one compared to this. But they've got a Porsche 911 GT3 RSR, is it? Or RS, wherever it is, coming out soon. And the guys have already said they're going to send me one of those as well. So you'll see a video build of one of those very, very soon as well. So yes, there we go. This video went straight to ISM for one reason and one reason only. It's my first kind of show off of Pro Scale products. I'm building the Alpha Models G80 M3, which I think is the next generation M3. Which I've actually finished. They're actually both sat there. There's the G80 in Snapper Rocks Blue, and there's the F80 in Daytona Violet. They're both finished now. I've got the video to edit part 2 and 3 of the G80. That's over on Patreon. Part 1 of that's over there. It'll be on here in a few weeks. It's very confusing. Trust me. Try building one, finishing it, near enough completing another one, and then making videos on the one you finish first. Yes, it's very confusing, and I've had to do several retakes when I've been talking about the wrong kit. Yes, so yes, both great kits, but this KitBox kit, phenomenal. Really, really nice. Like I say, the G80 one will be out in a few weeks. It's over on Patreon now. If you'd like to get early access on that, cue the plug. My Patreon link's down below. You can get early access on the videos, exclusive access to exclusive video builds. You can vote on builds. There's a vote actually on there right now for my next plastic kit. It's between a 250 Testarossa 58 Le Mans car, 330 P4 Ferrari, and an Aoshima Lamborghini Diablo GT are the choices. They're all on there, and that's for patrons to vote. So if you'd like to become a patron, click the link down below, click the applicable tier you'd like to join, and it's a monthly subscription. Gives you access to perks and sections and builds and all sorts of stuff. There's a Facebook group exclusive for patrons over on Facebook, funnily enough, as well as a messenger group on Facebook. We're about 60 of us in there. Good for having a chat, showing your modelling, saying good morning, what have you. And you help keep this going, because without your support, I couldn't do this. But there we go. There's the F80 done. The G80's done. I was going to edit all the videos. And it's on with the next build. And back to the Ferrari 250 GTO as well, which again will be on early access over on Patreon. And I still got my LFA to finish as well, because that got stalled with these. I will get back to that. Not sure when, but I will get back to it soon enough. There we go. That's it. We're all done. Loads of links in the description down below. Links to ProScale, UMP Retail, my personal modelling page. All the Off Air Hangouts, all the live show stuff is down there as well. There's an email address for me, a link to my scale mates. There's all sorts down there. All the products I use in my videos are listed there as well. And make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications, get notified of all the latest videos. Give the video a thumbs up and leave a comment. I love reading all your comments. I read and reply to every single one when I can. And I do love all the positive feedback I get. And if you've got any thoughts or anything, let me know down below. If you want to chat in private, drop me an email. I reply to all the emails as well. And there we go. That's us done. Another build off the bench. This is number 5 off the bench now of the year. And the G80 is number 6. So yeah, you'll see that one very, very soon. The G80 looks nice. It looks really nice. But there we are. All right. Enjoy the rest of the day, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.